There is a belief that the world sleeps at night, that darkness is a blanket of quiet, a time of rest and surrender. But there are places on this earth where this belief is a fiction, a myth told by those who live in the silent cities of concrete and steel. There is a place where the setting of the sun is not an end, but a handover. A place where the day shift, with its vibrant, chaotic chorus of parrots and monkeys, gives its place to another, older, and far more mysterious orchestra. This place is the heart of the world, the great green lung of our planet, the Amazon, and it never, ever sleeps. As twilight bleeds through the colossal canopy, the world does not grow quiet. It changes its voice. The heat of the day, a heavy, humid blanket, gives way to a cooler, more intimate air, thick as velvet and alive with a million unheard conversations. The familiar sounds begin to fade, replaced by a symphony that feels both ancient and immediate. This is the first mystery of the Amazonian night, the sound. It is a constant presence, a living wall of clicks, chirps, whistles, and calls that presses in from all sides. It is the sound of life at its most raw, its most untamed. Some voices in this nocturnal choir are known, yet they still curdle the blood. The haunting, descending cry of the potu, a bird that looks more like a splintered branch, sounds like a ghost mourning a forgotten world. The guttural, thunderous roar of a howler monkey, a sound far too large for the creature that makes it, echoes for miles, a territorial claim made against the immense darkness. The rhythmic, almost mechanical chirping of countless insects and frogs creates a hypnotic, pulsating drone, the very rhythm of the forest's beating heart. But it is the other sounds, the ones that find no home in the books of science, that truly define the night. Listen closely, past the known orchestra, and you will hear it. A low, resonant humming that seems to emanate not from a single creature, but from the earth itself, as if a great sleeping giant were dreaming beneath the soil. And then, a sharp, impossibly melodic whistle, a perfect liquid note that pierces the cacophony before vanishing. It has no echo. It has no discernible source. It is simply there, a moment of pure, inexplicable music in the chaos, and then it is gone. The local legends, the whispers passed down through generations, say these are not just sounds. They are signatures. They are the voices of the guardians, the spirits of the forest making their presence known. When you hear the snap of a twig behind you, only to turn and find nothing, and then hear it again, now impossibly in front of you, they say you have crossed the path of the Kurupara, the guardian with feet turned backward, a trickster who protects the animals by leading greedy hunters astray on confusing paths. His laughter is the rustle of leaves that sound too close. His footsteps are the sounds that have no source. When a deep, guttural roar, heavier and more profound than any howler monkey, shakes the very air you breathe, and a foul, heavy scent drifts through the trees, the elders will tell you to be still. You are in the presence of the Mapinguari, the great, shambling guardian of the deepest parts of the forest, a creature of immense power and sorrow. The sound is not a threat, they say, but a warning, a reminder that you are a guest in a kingdom that is not your own, a kingdom whose ancient rulers still walk in the shadows. And if you are near the black, mirror-like waters of a hidden lagoon and hear a song, a melody so beautiful and captivating that it pulls at your very soul, you must turn away. For that is the call of the Iara, the mother of the waters, a spirit who lures the unwary with her voice, promising a world of beauty from which there is no return. These are not mere stories to frighten children. They are the forest's way of explaining itself. They are the personification of its power, its mystery, its ability to protect its own secrets. Yet amidst this constant, overwhelming symphony of the known and the unknown, there exists a different kind of silence. It is not an absence of noise. It is a silence of awe. It happens when you finally stop trying to identify, to categorize, to understand each individual sound. It happens when you simply surrender to the whole. In that moment, the million different voices merge into one. The humming of the earth, the whistle in the trees, the cry of the potu, the whisper of the kurupara. It all becomes a single, unified presence. And in that presence, the noisy, chattering human mind finally becomes quiet. This is the true symbolism of the Amazonian night. It is a silence that is not empty, but profoundly full. It is the silence of your own smallness, the humbling realization that you are but a single silent witness to a living, breathing intelligence of incomprehensible scale. You come to understand that the forest is not a collection of things. It is a single being. The trees are its bones, the rivers its veins, and the sounds of the night are its thoughts, its breath, its dreams. The spirits are not separate entities, but antibodies, the forest's own immune system, protecting the whole from harm. The night is not a time of rest for this great being. It is a time of deep internal consciousness, a period of dreaming and memory, when the ancient soul of the world is most awake. We, with our small lights and our nervous listening, are fleeting thoughts in its vast consciousness. We are visitors in a world that is eternally alive, a world that speaks a language not of words, but of presence. And as the first hint of dawn begins to reclaim the sky, and the nocturnal orchestra begins its slow fade, handing the world back to the choir of the day, you are left with a profound and unsettling question. We strain to hear a single, understandable voice in the darkness, but the forest speaks with a million. And perhaps the greatest mystery of the forest that never sleeps is not what the sounds are, but what we have become, that we have forgotten how to listen.